I have procrastinated for 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. Oh gosh, yes, 3 months. I'm laughing because I can't even believe it myself. The people who will hate, they will hate. The people who will say bad comments and mean things, they will do it. And the reason why I didn't want to, come out here is, and the reason why I procrastinated for 3 months is because I did not want to be hated. Hi, my name is Trish or Patty, depending on where in the world we meet. But officially, it's Patricia, which means noble. I don't come from royalty, definitely not, but I do lead and live with integrity. Welcome to Into the Woods of Faith and Entrepreneurship, where getting lost is the first step to being found. Welcome to our very, 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 very first episode of this podcast. I'm just going to be real right now. I don't have any script whatsoever. I don't have any sort of like notes or nothing. I do have my journal where I just write down all of my reflections on a daily basis. And through these reflections, I gain insights, I learn more things. And that is what I am sharing with you today. And I thought it would be a very fitting idea to share with you something that has been very present for me and this podcast, which I have a feeling you are kind of like in the same space as well, because you're here watching or listening to this podcast right now. And it's all about procrastination. I have procrastinated for 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. Oh gosh, yes, 3 months. I'm laughing because I can't even believe it myself. I procrastinated for 3 months just to start this podcast. And that's really surprising for me, because if you really knew me, you'd know that I am not a procrastinator by nature. If I have an idea or something that I want to do, something that I want to try, I don't even spend the whole day thinking about it, planning about it. And I think it's one of the things that my clients and even myself and my friends appreciate about me. It's that I can move from idea to execution like really fast, like in a snap, like that. And so, right, like procrastination, Trish, like that's just not me, And I have a strong feeling that, some of you who are listening or watching this are experiencing some form of procrastination. And maybe some of you are also, you're by nature not procrastinators. You get things done and you're good at what you do, but somehow there's this one area in your life or in your business where you're just like, let me wait for the right time, or I don't know, let me just wait because I feel like I'm not there yet, So yeah, this whole thing is all about procrastination. And I might, like I said in the beginning, I have no script. I do have my reflection around procrastination, which I want to share with you today. And my hope really is that through these reflections, we understand a little bit more about why we feel this way or why we experience this. And, through that understanding, clarity comes, and through that clarity, some motivation, some forward movement will come. So by the end of this episode, I want to share with you a framework that I use just on a daily basis. Whenever I want to kind of focus on something and understand why that specific thing is happening, and what are my next best steps. So it can be, this framework can be very helpful for business, for life, for friendship, for anything actually. And so stay tuned. This will not be very long. I'll begin by sharing with you a short reflection, which happened to me in April. So I'll backtrack a little bit. So I told you I procrastinated 3 months for this podcast. So today is, let me just get that right. Today is August 13, 2025. And I am joining you from a very beautiful park in Madrid. So at the moment, I am joining from Madrid. I am based in Madrid at the moment. And so in April, actually at the beginning of this year, let me go back some months ahead. At the beginning of this year, I had this idea of starting a podcast. And the reason behind that is that I realized that I need to level up my visibility game. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. That's what it is. I realized that I need to level up my visibility game. Before the start of this year, so let me give you a bit more background so you can kind of like know where I'm coming from and how like deep this is. This is from, right? So 2 years ago in 2023, that's right, 2023, my family and I, oh, sorry, there was a bee. No, not now, please. No. So this is going to be raw and real. Like, I'm not even going to edit this. Like, I'm not even going to attempt to edit this. And I'm just going to be raw and real right here with you. Live, you'll get the bees, you'll get the wind, you'll get the sun, you'll get the sprinklers. In a minute, they're just going to, I know they're going to come out and just start sprinkling water. Okay, so that will come also. Like, rambling. Oh, where am I? Okay, 2 years ago, my family and I decided to move to Madrid. Arriving here, had, obviously, I don't speak the language. I do now, to a certain degree, to a certain level where I can converse basic. But at that time, I don't speak the language. I did not speak the language. I also had no network, like zero. Oh, I thought there was somebody there. Anyway, zero network, zero talking. And at that time, I decided I want to move my business to the European region because I was here. I wanted to root myself a little bit more. I wanted to understand culture a little bit more. So that's another thing. Like, if you really knew me, like culture, I really like learning about cultures and practicing it and being part of a culture. So everywhere we go, depending on where we're based at the moment, we've lived in 5 countries in the last 5 years. So you can imagine how rich the culture is in every place that we go to, and I just enjoy really just embracing that. So when I moved here, I was like, I want to be part of the culture. Like, I want to ground myself and root myself here. So that came with the decision of moving my business here. And when I say moving my business here, like finding clients, like building something here in this side of the world. And then I was like, but how am I going to do that? Like, how am I going to do that? At that time, I did not have any social media. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. What else? Twitter. I don't have Twitter as well. What I do have was LinkedIn. And at the time, my LinkedIn was a platform that I used when I wanted to do some background check of a professional person, or if I was checking on a project of something. Like, it wasn't really a thing I used to connect with people. You know what I mean? Obviously, that has changed in the last 2 years. But at that time, like I did not have anything at all. So I'm like, how am I going to do this? And so I realized I needed to start using LinkedIn. And I was like, okay, LinkedIn, it feels like the most aligned platform for me if we're talking about values. And so I was like, okay, let's try LinkedIn. So for 2 years, I ran an experiment. I love experiments, by the way, especially experiments in business. We'll talk more about that on another time, but I ran an experiment for 2 years on LinkedIn. I wanted to prove two things. One, that I can find people that I really and deeply connect with beyond business, beyond professional titles. And number two, I wanted to find through LinkedIn, I wanted to find clients that align with my values and that I enjoy working with. So 2 years had gone by and I was able to prove those 2 points successfully. Frankly, some of the people that I hold very close to my heart now, I met on LinkedIn. So I'm very grateful for the platform, although I know there's a lot of, buzz around the algorithm and things like that. But it is what it is, right? And then obviously I also found clients through LinkedIn, and then these clients referred me to people, and I just started growing my network around Europe. And then 2025 came, and I was like, oh, LinkedIn is not working in the way that it was for me in the past 2 years. And that's where the idea came. I was like, oh, I kind of need to level up my visibility game. Maybe it's time to explore another platform. And so I was like, there we go, podcast. Let me just, my feet. Ow, it's cramping. Okay. Oh, this is a nice position. Actually, this chair is shaking. I hope I don't fall before I finish this podcast. Sorry, just get distracted all the time. Let me put my attention to you. And thank you for giving me your attention anyway. So yes, podcast came. At the beginning of this year, I had that idea. I was like, okay, cool. I was traveling in January. I came back to Spain the first week of February. I was like, okay, planning my year ahead. I did some launches at that time. So that was like the first priority, the launch. And then April came and I was like, okay, now it's time to, explore podcasting. The first thing I did was buy a hosting platform, hosting. You know what I mean? And that is so that the hosting is so that I can own my own content. Like you can do it for free, but I just decided to get mine. Because I want to own my content basically, but like that's not what we're talking about here. Technical things aside. So I bought a hosting for 1 year in April, May, June, July, August. April. Yeah. So I bought, yeah, right. And then May came and I was like, okay, let me sit down, set up this podcast, write down maybe 2-3 episodes, just to, kind of like a rough outline, and then sit down and just see what happens. Because I normally do things like that. So that was May, right? And I was like, oh, June, July, August. So 3 months. 3 months had passed, and here I am recording my very first episode of this podcast. I don't know what that is, but that sounds like procrastination to me. And I realized it. I was like, oh, I have procrastinated. I never considered myself a procrastinator. Like that's just not my thing. I know some people that's like their main challenge. That's not my main challenge, but I am experiencing it now. What's happening? And what happened is that, and I'm going to share with you something big here. What happened is that I realized why I was procrastinating. And it's because the podcast that I wanted to do is all about faith and entrepreneurship. And I don't know about you, but when somebody hears faith, they think religion, woo-woo, some form of magic, or some made up thing in the observable world. And the other word, entrepreneurship, some people think it's like, for the privileged, or something so big, something so complex. And so, faith and entrepreneurship, you combine those two and you're like, and I think at that time I was like, no, let's go for this. But the real reason is that I procrastinated because there's just this part of me as a human being, which means it may be somewhere in you too, somewhere there. Maybe you're aware, maybe not. But I've become aware of it just in the last months. There's a huge part of me that wanted to be liked. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. That's the real raw truth. There's a huge part of me that just wanted to be liked. And so I was like, if I was going to do this podcast, I know that I will get comments, I will get hate, I will get everything that I don't want. And so the change happened when I realized that I am not here for everyone. I'm not here to please everyone. I'm not here to please all the people of the earth. And if you think about it, there's billions of us here on earth. If you think about the number of entrepreneurs there are, I'm not sure if my numbers are right, but last year I know it was somewhere between 7-8%. So that's like billions. And then you think about the 7-8% population, right, of entrepreneurs. And think about the number of entrepreneurs who are faith-driven or faith-based, like very, very, very small, like super small, right? Super small. And I realized that those super small, that super small percentage is who I'm showing up for. And I needed to accept that the people who will hate, they will hate. The people who will say bad comments and mean things, they will do it. And the reason why I didn't want to, come out here is, and the reason why I procrastinated for 3 months is because I did not want to be hated. I did not want to be hated. And I know that if I share my faith, there will be hate. And furthermore, if I share that I am building and growing my business through faith, I will get even more like, Trish, no, But then I was like, I came to a point, really asking myself, reflecting every day, what is it, that one thing that's going to help me move forward? And what came to me is this truth, this knowing, this truth from the inside, not the truth of the outside, not the truth of someone else. The truth that is inside of me, the spirit who is living in me, that truth. It reminded me of why I am here. Why am I doing all of this? Who am I doing this for? It doesn't matter if I make a mistake, or if I say something that's going to not be liked by someone, if someone will hate me, like, it doesn't matter. There was that calming wisdom. Like, it doesn't matter, Trish. Share your faith. Share how you're building your business by faith in today's world. The people who are meant to hear this will come. The people who are meant to hate will hate. The people who are meant to learn something from this will learn something from this. You keep showing up. You keep doing what you got to do. And that's the price. That's the price you pay. And so I thought, I'm going to share this reflection for our very first episode, because I just have really a strong feeling that a lot of people are procrastinating on things they're called for. You know that feeling when you're just feeling something so strong, kind of like here, sometimes in the heart, sometimes in the gut. You know, when you're feeling something so strong and it's like something is calling you to do something, something is like there's a fire, like causing you to move forward, to take action. But then there's something kind of holding you back as well, kind of pulling you back, that resistance. You're like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough to do this. Or like, oh, maybe, I need to learn more to be able to do this. Or maybe I will wait for the time when this person is not so busy and I will reach out to this person. I just have a strong feeling that a lot of us are in that space. And I hope that this reflection will give you some encouragement to step out of that procrastination and step into faith. And faith, I'd like to say that I am a woman of faith. And some people think that's just like, what is even faith, right? Like, what is that? That's kind of like something in the clouds that I don't understand. And I say, my actions will demonstrate what my faith is. And for me, my business is a reflection of my faith. And so faith and deeds go together. They go hand in hand, because faith without deeds, without action, is nothing, is dead. Faith is not faith without action. So those two go together. So if you're feeling called to do something, if there's that something inside you, go for it, girl. Go for it. Step out of that procrastination, step into faith, and just start doing it. And I know it's hard. I know it's easier said than done. I'm here on the other side, just telling you this reflection. But while I was in the middle of that procrastination, it was really hard to see through. And so I want to share with you this framework that has helped me go from procrastination to stepping into faith. 3 letters. And I want you to remember this, really remember. It's going to be very helpful for you. It's called AYA. AYA. A-I-A. AYA. The first A stands for attention. I stands for intention. And the last A stands for action. So if we go through that together, the first one is attention. So pay attention. What is it that you are experiencing? What area is that you have some form of procrastination going on? Like, bring your attention to that. Pay attention to it instead of kind of not looking at it and like, I'm just gonna put it here and just go another way, and then if the time will come, the time will come. No, girl. Put your attention in that area of procrastination that you are dealing with right now. Just sit in that space for a moment. Pay attention. Put your energy, your focus, your full attention in that space, in that area of procrastination. Maybe it's reaching out to someone that you feel like you need to reach out to, but you're just procrastinating on. And then, or maybe it's a project it's a passion project that you want to start for a long time. Or maybe it's increasing your prices. Something important for you. And there's that resistance. There's procrastination. Pay attention to that. And then let's move forward with I. And then while that's in your mind, set an intention. Ask yourself, why am I procrastinating? What is the purpose of this mission? Whether it's a project or an activity or as a task. What is the purpose of this? Like, ask yourself, like, why am I doing this? Why do I want to do this? Why do I feel called to do this? Right? And maybe it's a moment to remember your intention in the first place. Why do you really want to do that? Or maybe if you haven't had the time to set an intention, now is a great time. Set an intention. What is this podcast for? Well, my intention for this podcast is to share the reflections that I've been having as I am building and growing a business by faith. I know that it's going to help a lot of people. I know there's going to be hate, but I'm fine with that. That is my intention. What is yours? And then this is the most important one. Action. Take action. What is it? What is 1 or 2 steps you can take today, like today, right now as we speak, that will move you forward, put you into that state of momentum, because you need that going. You need consistent action. What is that thing that you need to do, basically, to get you to where you want to be today? Is it reaching out to that person? Is it calling a friend and sharing your idea? Is it just going to the park, putting on a microphone, putting the phone right here and having people look at you and just like, I don't care, I'm just going to film this first episode? Maybe it's that. What is your action? And this is the most important thing, because again, faith without deeds is dead. So it doesn't matter how pure your intention is. It doesn't matter how big your mission is. If you don't do anything about it, it's never going to happen. And that's just the truth. And I know you need to hear this right now. So remember that framework. Attention, intention, action. Make time, friend. Make time today, friend, to sit down. Get your notebook. Write down what came up for you while doing this Aya. I really, really encourage you to do it. It's what moved me from 3 months of procrastinating to start this podcast and film this first episode, to being here, showing up in this screen, being here in this beautiful park today. So I leave this framework with you. I hope it blesses you. It gives you joy. It adds value for you. I don't know what the next episode will be. I will have a look at my journal of reflections. Maybe it's something to do with money and success and what we think about it. It's what's present for me and in my circle at the moment. So I'm like, I sense that there is a strong need to rewire our beliefs around money and success. My husband always says, there are no bad businesses. There are only bad beliefs that we put in our businesses. That's why our businesses don't work. Yes, I know. Pretty strong, right? So maybe that will be the next episode, or maybe not. You will have to figure it out and go to the next episode. Oh, I did that in the moment. That's cool. Oh, that's a nice invitation. I did that in the moment. Yes. Anyway, I will leave this here for now. The sprinklers are already on, and I'm not sure if you're hearing it. Like, they're now doing some construction and some tree cutting and some in the park. So it's time to leave you for now. I'll see you in the next episode. Have a great day. Ciao for now.